Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolors in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, welcome to my studio, Diane here. Today I am going to try to paint out some feelings. I'm not going to attempt to paint any particular thing, but I'm going to try to get rid of some shadows that are hanging over me at the moment. Nothing to do with my own health or anything like that, thank goodness, not at the moment. But a few things have happened just recently to people I know and to me, and it's upsetting sometimes. So I know everyone feels like this from time to time, so I'm going to ruin a piece of paper with some paint. And this is a sheet of Etcher, cold press watercolour paper. I've got a large round brush here and my Kuretake set, and I'm going to put colour on this piece of paper with nothing in mind. I've tried several ways of painting today. I've planned a few different videos that I'm going to hopefully make, and I have failed to be able to actually even start talking. So I decided I would do this instead. So I'm going to just put colour onto the paper, colours that appeal to me in my Kuretake set, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if nothing else, it'll cheer me up, and perhaps you too. We all have days, don't we, when things don't feel fair or right. And one of the things that's happened is that a friend of mine who's very elderly, he's 80, and he's a very strong and competent man, and he has, even though he's 80, he's still been working hard, and he has just had a car accident, and he hasn't been injured, but he has caused the injury of somebody else. A sheer accident. He wasn't really doing anything wrong, but things kind of got on top of him, and he crossed to the wrong side of the road. We're in France, you know. It's very easy to do. Anyway, so he's obviously really upset, and I think I'm upset as well. I didn't realise, but I think I'm upset on his behalf. I don't think he's to blame, and I think he's going to be really upset and hurt by this. So that's a sad thing. Life really is very difficult at the moment for so many of us. And I don't know what we did to deserve this. But we mustn't let it get us down, and we have to keep painting, because that's really all there is art. Art from the heart. And sometimes then when you see the beautiful greens and blues coming onto the paper, you feel better. Isn't that right? Finally, the sun has come out today, which is something. We've had, like everyone else, more than enough winter. It gets like that this time of the year, doesn't it? I'm not thinking about this at all. I'm just allowing my brush to go wherever it wants. There's lots of indigo here, which I expect is not surprising. And I'm thinking I'll just cover this whole page with blues and greens, all smushed up together. And then I'll let it dry, and then we'll come in and doodle on top of it, shall we? And see what we see what comes out of it. I don't know if I'm going to get backgrounds and things like that on here. Probably will. I'm just filling in all the spaces where the paint has pulled back from the paper or where I missed it. Oh, there seems to be some damage on that piece of paper there. Oh, well, never mind, it'll be covered up by the doodling. So I'm not going to play with that anymore. I'll just let that dry and I'll be back in a minute. So there we are, that's dry now. And the question is now what to do with that. Thing is, I don't know about you, but I think that for me, one of the most soothing images, one of the things that makes me feel at least reasonably peaceful is the leaf motif, so to speak. I don't know whether this is something that goes back to ancient history, sort of prehistoric times or something. The reassurance of knowing that there was something to eat because there were at least leaves growing on the trees. I don't know. But it is somehow a happy thing to see a leaf. And so that's what I need. So I'm going to put some leaf shapes on here first before I do anything else. And I'm just outlining them at the moment. I don't know why, really. And put a small one at the end. I had a greenfinch, a little bird, flew, it didn't help either, flew into the door of the studio today, into the glass door, and hasn't killed itself. I don't know if it's going to survive. I held it for a while in my hand to try and warm it up because it had gone completely passive, and I thought she was going to be dead. I thought she was going to die straight away, but after a while she warmed up, so we put her in a box and left her there for an hour or so, and then when we came back after lunch, she flew out of the box, and now she hasn't gone very far. She's just sitting on top of the rafters in the studio. I don't know whether she's going to be okay or not. I've thrown the cats out because you can't have cats in. Well, mind you, the cat couldn't reach her up there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so after that happened, last year we had on the door, it's a double door, sort of French door thing, we had shapes of birds of prey, things, so as to make the birds keep away. And I had to take them off in the winter because they all peeled off. So I have now, slightly too late for this bird's best benefit, but I hope she's going to be okay. I put the birds back on the window. I'll show you. So now we have lots of green birds on the door, and there's Zen outside. And I'll take you just around the studio, and you should be able to see the bird up there. Not a very good picture of her, but she is there. Okay, right, that's a nice organic looking shape there. So bearing in mind that we're in that kind of a mood, perhaps we might want to paint some of these nice and dark like that. Perhaps not all of them, perhaps some of them, and then I can put some white embroidery over the top. Perhaps, let's see, you can always adjust the shapes a bit when you're doing the next stage if you don't like the shape that they've come out. Definitely one of those days today. You know when something is wrong when your hands shakes when you paint. Okay, so let's perhaps do sort of like half of those, something like that. I don't like that stem, it looks too straight. Hopefully I'll be able to make that go a bit curvier. Okay, and then, well, this is dry in the background, so we ought to be able to do something with a pen, shouldn't we? So maybe while we're waiting for that to dry, perhaps I'll put some gold on these leaves here. Not sure what I'm doing really, but you know. Whoops. Oh, gosh. Yes, I know. It's always going to go wrong when you have a bad day. We'll cover that up later, and I'll try not to do it again. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just a sec. That's better. I think that's probably more or less dry now. Okay, so let's put some gold in here. This is quite a peaceful thing to do. Forces you to calm down. And I think it's probably a good idea to, what's the word? Try to not think about the next thing that you're going to do, but concentrate on the thing that you're doing at the moment. But that's not always that easy, is it? You see, if I was a real artist, I would be doing all of these the same. But because I'm a dilettante, I don't really know what that means, but it sounds good. I tend to vary things as they go along. But it's not too bad, does it? Okay, and this one, let's put dots around the outside edge. This gold pen is very nice. This is the Sigmo gel pen, Uniball, and I don't understand why the white is so bad compared to the gold. The gold it flows beautifully. I don't understand really. The white is always reluctant, as we will see in uno minuto when I try to put some white on. But before we do anything else, let's think about what we're going to do next. There are quite a lot of things that we could do. Probably want to put a bit more paint on. The question is, am I going to put a different colour or more blue? Am I going to go for something like a purpley colour? Let's see. Piece of paper. Paper. That's not screaming out to me. Too blue, I think. What about this one? No. What about dark brown? I don't think that's going to work. Oh no. What about more indigo? I think I'm going to do that. But what am I going to do with it? Make this a little bit darker. What am I going to do with it? I think I might just put some more lines on these leaves. Yes. Why not? Let's do that. I think I'm going to do some berries. Let's paint some circles of different sizes. Here and there, just to sort of break in. And I'm going to put my hand on it again if I'm not careful. Some lovely colours that have come out underneath here. That one's a bit too big. Never mind. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, it probably does. That's a nice area there, isn't it? That makes me think of another idea I've got, perhaps for the next video. I didn't feel like I could cope with a really new idea today, but I have got an idea, and I hope you will be watching over the next few days, and when I have a go at doing that. And I think I'm going to get some, I think I'm going to do some white circles, and I'm not going to use that silly white pen because it's just annoying. So I'm just going to squeeze out some white gouache, or white watercolor actually this is, I think. And just mix it with a little bit of water. And then I think, shall we do some flowers? Why not? Okay, just put them in the spaces. White daisies. And put one around here. There we are, and then perhaps we'll put some white areas on these. I can't remember whether I just said this or not. I was going to say the white will probably fade and dry lighter. And then I think I'll go back to the gold, and I'm going to put... This reminds me of embroidery when you do this kind of thing and you're layering marks. Oops, okay. So we've got that. Something else that we can do is to use one of these pens. You can use it to make shadowy lines. So we could do some spirals, and all it is just, this is, what does it call itself? Purple grey, and it will just give a shadow in the background. Just lets the colour underneath shine through. It's an interesting effect, isn't it? And you could do other things too. You could paint in some more leaves, so they're like more in the background. Like that. And building it up to make it so that it looks like you've done some work. What have you been doing all afternoon? Oh, nothing, I was just painting. So I think I've only used 3 colours here, the indigo and the forest green and the ultramarine, I think, and it's separated out into these nice colours. And if you want to go round your circles to give them a little bit of 3-dimensionality, you can go underneath them and make them stand out a little bit, because they've now got shadow underneath. If you want. These watercolor brushes are quite good. Quite like these. Okay, and maybe we need a little bit of white. Perhaps I'll use this. I'm not sure if it'll work. Come on, don't let me down. Yeah, okay, it's now going to prove me wrong and say I'm perfectly fine. I'm just as good as the gold. As good as gold. And then what else? Maybe we need a bit of white on the main leaves. Perhaps, I'm not sure. maybe, yes, perhaps something like that maybe, because there's enough room there to do little dots, isn't there? Okay, I mean, we could go on and just put a little bit more of a highlight on these. We might go too far if we're not careful. It's a point at which to take a photograph, actually. Take a photo of your work at this point and then go away, have a cup of tea, come back and see what you think when it's properly dry. So I think that's probably what I'll do. I'll stop there. I'm going to hold it up and show you what we've done. And I might leave it there, actually. Lots of techniques in that. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you again soon when I haven't got a headache. How does that sound? Okay then. Bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.